Haven't started yet?
Yeah, it just started.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us here at the AEO Podcast, basically meaning anime entertainment and Oppai. This is going to be a discussion. And it kicked in right as I was. Anyways, we're mainly going to be talking about anime. Anime and everything else. I'm here with Robert and Michael.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yo.
Told you this wasn't going to go well this first time.
You might want to click on it so it's actually showing your screen, because it keeps going between our screens. Just letting you know.
Oh, yeah, it was just showing who's talking at the moment, because nothing's on there.
Okay. Alright. I'm just making sure.
Alright, anything y'all want to say? Before
Not currently, no. I'm good.
Alright, so, what about the new stuff that came through, like... I'm horrible at this.
I'll just keep going, dude. It's not a big deal.
No, man, I lost my thing.
Haven't we
I
all?
lost every bit of my notes. I think we were all three watching the Yuuna.
What's that in English? I'm watching it on Verve. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pulling it up now. Willis, do you happen to know?
No, I just know it by its Japanese name. Not
Okay.
to sound like I'm special. It's just because it takes effort to go find out what the English name is, and I almost
Okay.
never remember it. So.
Well, how about you describe it and I'll figure it out?
It's the one where the main character guy hunts yokai with his fist. That's without spoiling anything.
Oh, yeah. Yuuna and the Haunted Hot Spring?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah. I actually just got done watching. Not the entire thing, but the first like 2 or 3 episodes because I was crunched for time. But yeah, I enjoyed it so far. I mean, it's pretty fun. It doesn't take itself seriously. I mean, it's got all the usual trappings, obviously, like that kind of shit.
I honestly like it. It does have the generic feel, but if done right, the generic feel can be amazing. If done wrong, it can be like another anime that's on this season. Can't think of its name right now, but no one should watch it. It is the epitome of a disgrace. It is terrible.
I believe in English it's called Master of Ragnarok, something or another.
Master of garbage.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'll agree. I've already dropped that one. I won't even lie.
I'm going to finish it. It's just it's so generic that it knows it's generic, but it doesn't try to be playful with its genericness. It tries to be serious while still being super generic. It's offensive.
It was pretty bad. The guy just go ahead.
It could have capitalized on it a lot more. It started it off like every other thing tried to draw the attention with the half-naked girl in the first of it.
Yeah, most definitely.
But hey, there's some out there that do that. It's not a problem when they do it right, or even there's even ones that do it wrong. But this one does it so bad.
It doesn't even have to be tasteful, and it cannot be that bad.
The first part sets up, and you're like, okay, this could be pretty good. It's going the right direction. It has a little bit of a story. It's kind of different because it's happening so many years after the first events that they don't cover at all. And then they just go from there with no backstory, no cover for the characters. You're just, let's go and do nothing.
Yeah, it's not like a future for the first 10 minutes and then flashback type deal. It's basically just like, oh yeah, I came to this world 2 years ago, and I've got a cell phone, by the way, and I just look all this shit up.
Oh, whoa! It's not just a cell phone; it's a solar-powered cell phone. Isn't that so handy to have?
Oh, I'm sorry.
And on top of that, what cell service is he using? What Wi-Fi? They're still using.
Bronson, didn't you know?
They're still using copper and bronze weapons.
Isn't he calling his sister or girlfriend or whoever the fuck back?
Yeah, and they can't explain that either. Somehow I can call into the future.
When are you getting home? Eventually, sometime. I'm almost there. Just wait.
We do have the other one that actually done that right though. Whenever we go back to last season, the hinamatsuri, where it started off with a flash of the future and you didn't understand what was going on.
Well, hinamatsuri is just it just doesn't give a shit and it's hilarious.
But see,
it
that
also
one doesn't really take itself too seriously.
Oh, not at all.
There are serious moments
Mhm.
you could call serious moments, but it doesn't take itself completely serious.
Right, like the whole deal with the little blonde girl with like the little one whatever you call it, the half pigtail or whatever. The fact that she's like
Anzu, yeah.
Yeah, Inzu. She gets stuck there too, and then she's like living with homeless people. And one thing I appreciate is they don't like get all weird and like touchy or even do any of that shit because she's a child. And then that's good, but then also it's like really touching in the middle of all this other shit happening.
Talking about characters, anybody listening.
Right.
But no, I'll admit I'm probably not gonna finish that one. It just lost me on episode 2.
Which one? Master of Ragnarok?
Yeah, Master of Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I said, it still has the potential to finish off the season strong. I do not, for the life of me, see a second season coming at all. No way. I don't see a second season coming. But I mean, they made a Makin key too. So
they made a what?
What?
But anyways, other than that, we also have the other comedic relief of the bunch. I cannot pronounce his Japanese name, and I'm trying to pull up the English one. Isekimo to the one you like.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
the one you like.
Yeah. There's a lot that I like, so you're not being descriptive there, but
right. And I'm not sure.
It's about a demon lord who gets summoned to another world.
Yeah. How not to summon a demon lord. That was actually like it was super lewd, but it actually did decent even after
and it definitely had the generic tropes, but
absolutely
it played it correctly. Not only that, the animation's well done, the voice acting is done. You know, and I'm to anyone out there wondering, yes, there is an uncensored version. I did not watch it, just saying. But there is an uncensored version.
Shit, if that's the one that's censored, Jesus Christ.
Oh, trust me. Not that I would have seen it. I've just heard that the uncensored gets a lot worse.
Well, it's the same thing, but with
yeah.
Certain stuff, right?
It's not as bad as the Gal anime from I don't think it was last season, but it would have been the season before that, sometime in the winter season, technically. That one was good, but that uncensored version was it's like the definitive version, but it's a version you can't watch.
Not with anybody around.
Hell, I can't watch this with anybody around. They'd be like, "Oh, you into that anime shit?"
Well, trust me, there's far worse. Just regular anime that crosses.
Oh yeah,
almost crosses. There's far worse. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, like that one episode of Konosuba, the fucking succubus episode. Yeah, you can't.
But that was hilarious.
I know, no. I like it. I'm just saying.
You're sitting there like he's about to fight. Oh.
The main part about both those, though, is they don't completely focus on the lewdness. They have a lot of it, but they actually have a story enough to back it up, and they thought about doing the uncensored version of it, or the censored version of it for people.
Gotcha. And like with Konosuba, like, sure, the lewd is nice, but it's by far not the main draw of the show. I mean...
Well, Konosuba itself is a parody, almost all genre anime. It makes fun of harem anime, fantasy anime, drama anime, makes fun of romance. You may not see it, but it does. It makes fun of romance a lot.
With Aqua and main guy's name.
With all of them.
Yeah.
Especially if you watch some of the OVAs and.
I haven't seen the OVAs, unfortunately.
I saw pop up on my list, but they are making a official movie.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that.
I did not know that one.
Yes. and it is already on my watch list. So yeah,
I'm gonna have to put it on mine.
Yeah, same here. Other than that one, I know Robert is the one that's watching the My Hero Academia season 3.
Academia, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'll fight you over that, but whatever. But yeah. And Michael knows about it, but we're not going to get to that whole shenanigans right now because that's
we're not
just
going to get to his waifu.
No, we're not going to. It's not about that. I don't give a shit about that. You have your waifu, whatever. It's everything around it. Like
yeah.
I don't know if we want to get into it, but we can get into it.
Well, one thing I can say with my brief knowledge of that show is that it is very well animated and voice acted.
Yes.
I can give you that. The fights look really, really nice. I've heard people say, I'm not going to say any names, but they said that they're on par with some of the Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super fights. Look, they're great and stuff, but they don't draw that young feeling of nostalgia that those fights brought. I know Super isn't really
well. I mean, of course they bring out nostalgia because they're nostalgic shows. Like Super, there are moments in Super where I'm just like, oh, like Vegeta and Kaba. Oh, that just got me right in the feels. But for me, My Hero Academia is like the new hotness, and it's like what shonen is becoming beyond Dragon Ball. Not that Dragon Ball is bad. I love Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball does have pacing issues sometimes.
Yeah.
And My Hero Academia doesn't really have that problem.
8 episodes worth of pacing issues. Oh.
Look, if you want to talk about pacing issues, though, Fairy Tail, as great as it is, because trust me, I hated it at first, and then I kept watching. I was watching it on Netflix, actually. That's where I first started watching it, and I liked it. But you had to go through so much filler, so much pacing issues. It's just
I've only seen like the first 10 episodes or so, and I just got fatigued. And I'm like, I'm gonna watch something else. I'm gonna watch Hunter x Hunter, because Hunter x Hunter's got some really badass shit that I haven't gotten to yet.
But I'm telling you, Fairy Tail definitely opens up though with really good story arcs, like the tournament arc. I know a lot of people hate the Edalus arc, but I actually liked it.
Right, I mean, that's what I hear, so I'll get to it eventually, but it's not my main priority right now. It really isn't.
It takes that special type of person with the attitude that Natsu has in the beginning of it. It's just...
Right. But I mean...
He's like a young Goku. And the way that he's stupid.
Yeah. But, like, getting back to My Hero Academia really quick, like, the thing that I like is the way that it basically layers its characters. Like, some characters you might look at initially and you'd be like, okay, Bakugo is just like the typical asshole. But he's also one of the most he's kind of like a Vegeta-like character, only maybe more wrapped a little bit tighter than Vegeta. Like, he's even more prideful, I think, than Vegeta is, because he's like kind of almost like a caricature of that type of archetype. Like, he's so insanely over the top. But then, like, later on, you see him start to actually, like, respect people, because he used to just be, like, this punk who's just like, fuck you. And he's still like that, mostly. But, like, he has these, like, little tiny moments to where you see that. And then you also see how much of a tactical fighter he is. And everybody around him is always commenting on, he's always really hot-headed outside of fights, but inside of fights, he's just focused, like, laser focused. And that's why he's, one of the top people in the entire class. It's like, and that just kind of compartmentalizes like one character. There's so many other characters that are so great, like have so many layers, like Todoroki and. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm ranting. Go ahead.
The part I like about it is, I know Willis doesn't watch it, but you turn around, each one of them, their personality ties in with their quirk.
Right.
I mean, even though they got lazy and made one of them straight invisible with just gloves.
Yeah, I mean, she's. I wouldn't go as far as to say she's like a gag character, but she's just kind of there to be like, hey, I'm invisible. She hasn't done too many things that are all that interesting, which kind of makes me sad. But it's kind of hard when her actual uniform or her suit is literally just gloves and boots. Right? She's basically like naked, and then she like takes the boots and the gloves off, and then you don't see what she does because they don't really accentuate it that much. So that's kind of
Now, I was gonna say my biggest, because it's not that I don't like that show.
Right.
It's just my biggest problem with a lot of anime these days is they try to have 8 main characters. I don't like that. I want to focus on 2 or 3 main characters. Maybe throw in a 4th that you're going to kill in at the end. I don't care. But 8 main characters is like, you want us to care about all of them, but then eventually you're going to underdevelop one of those. You're going to do something with them, and you're like, at this moment, you need to care about them. And it's like, I don't.
Right. You see, the thing, I feel like the way that Hiroaka, they focus, like, I would say if there are some main characters, the main characters would be All Might, Midoriya, or Deku, and then Bakugo. Maybe to a lesser extent, what was this fucking Speed Racer?
The jet guy.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, they do really tightly focus on Midoriya, but what they do is they look at the class as kind of like one big character with like multiple facets to it. Like, there are some characters that get more attention, but they basically oftentimes refer to them, and they kind of build up this community as like they're a big class. You always, and the thing is, like, they're very distinctive. So you're like, oh, like, for example, in the most recent episode, and this doesn't really spoil anything, like, Deku is like, he gets paired up with Uraraka, the Zero Grab girl, who's also kind of a big, she's kind of like a maybe possible love interest, who knows. But she's kind of a big focus. But then there's also like this fucking duct tape dude who shoots duct tape out of his elbows, and I've never given a shit about him, but he's just like a supplementary character. He's there to just be like, his ability is what he is to everybody else. Like, but they still treat him like, you know, he's important. Like, the other characters treat him like he's important, but you don't have to necessarily care about him. It's just like, oh, let's see what cool new shit he can do with his fucking tape elbows. And people like Momo. Momo has the ability to create stuff by basically materializing the fat out of her and then basically using that to create whatever she can think of. Like, if she knows how to create like a computer or like a tracking device or like a pole or something, as long as she's got, you know, energy to do that, she can pull it out of herself. She does some really interesting shit. I think the main draw is like seeing all the creative ways that they use abilities, and then also seeing the creative new abilities that new characters come in with. It's not necessarily like, oh, I give a shit about this character. It's like, oh, that's a really cool ability, and what are they doing with it that's cool? It's visually interesting. And so all the actual story stuff is mainly just Midoriya, All Might, and to a lesser extent Bakugo. So you don't really have to care about anybody but those 3 most of the time. And they kind of just throw in a little bit of most of the time when characters have moments, it's always like Midoriya said this or Midoriya inspired me to do this, and it's all still focused around the main character regardless. Like, it's basically like how he's touched the lives of all these people, and to a greater extent how All Might has touched, you know, the lives of everybody in the entire universe. And that kind of like flows through as you go along. So it's not as complicated as it sounds. Like, it's really overwhelming when you first start. It's like, who the fuck are all these people? You don't have to care about all these people. It's different. Like, it's not, they don't have 8 main characters. They do and they don't. Like,
but that doesn't sound complicated. They do and they don't. Doesn't sound complicated though.
Well, maybe if you watch it, you'd understand what I'm talking about.
I have watched it. I haven't watched all of it, but I have watched it.
Oh, okay. But like, it's a slow build up. Like, it doesn't, like, it's not something where.
Right, but like in Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, even the god awful Dragon Ball GT, you knew without a shadow of a doubt who was there to be the character of the episode, no matter if it was a supplementary character or getting a main part in the episode. Anytime I watched any of those episodes that I did watch, it was what character's going to pop up in the middle of this episode and be the main star for the rest of it. And I'm like, which character? Oh yeah, that's their power. I know who they are now. But then it would go, next episode, let's transition to somebody different. Let's transition to somebody different.
Are you picking random episodes, or are you watching it from the beginning?
I have watched the first season, and I've watched most of the third season. I didn't watch the second season.
Okay. Well, second season has some pretty big shit in it. I'm just saying.
It may have some pretty big stuff in it, but from the first to the third season, that format has not changed. And the way that they want to display their characters. And that's all I'm saying is I'm not saying it's bad or it's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying I don't like 8 characters because I don't want to get invested in 8 characters and be 8 seasons down the line. And half of those characters are either missing, they're terrible now, or they just don't care about them. And then it's like, well, I like that one character, and that one character is never used again.
Well, seeing we spent about 7 minutes on it, let's go to a different complicated storyline a little bit. Robert, did you say you were watching Island?
I watched like the first 2 to 3 episodes. So watching, yes. Continuing to watch, maybe.
Probably not your cup of tea on it, but
it's okay so far.
I mean, so far with the storyline, it's taken a little bit of, I know I haven't finished it yet, and y'all are going to rip into me over it. It's taken the same viewpoints of Steingate as a little bit different, because they're mainly trying to figure out.
No.
Continue. Just no. Finish your thought, please.
But they're not taking as much as if they went back in time. He's already back in time, trying to figure out what event he's supposed to stop, the memory loss.
Right. I mean, obviously, if it's about time travel, that's the one way that it relates to Steins Gate. But I don't feel like it necessarily goes about it the same way, because Steins Gate isn't just like from Island, from the first one, he's basically just like, I know that I travel back in time. So that's one thing immediately. Like if you watch Steins Gate from the beginning, you would not know that it's a time travel anime. I mean, nobody's watching this right now. Let's be honest. If you're watching this later, then you've been warned. You've probably been warned by us in the future that this kind of shit's going to happen anyway. So whatever.
Yeah, I'll probably have to put down in the description of it that it may contain spoilers.
Right. I mean, I don't feel like that's too much of a spoiler, but it is kind of, sort of, yeah, whatever.
I mean, at this point, if anybody's looking into Steins Gate, they pretty much know the premise of it. I mean, it's, what, 3-4 years old?
That's not true, because there's somebody who's starting to watch it again. It's been a while.
I know the premise of it.
Right, but...
Did you see that coming in that last episode without spoiling anything?
Actually, yeah, I saw it coming through it. Just because I've watched too many animes that follow the same story trend.
Okay.
Just slowly. It was red flag central. Come on, you have to admit it. Like for the previous 3 episodes, it was red flag central.
I like to later after this. I like to know where those flags were that you saw.
Yeah, well, I'll leave that for later. But
yeah, we can get back to older anime later, I guess.
Trying to look through.
But anyway,
if I could say something real fast.
Go ahead.
There, in my opinion, is and it goes back to something that we had talked about, but it's related to Overlord Season 3, all right? Overlord Season 3 is in a weird spot. First season was amazing. The second season was a plot story build. It had some good parts, but it wasn't super crazy amazing like the first season. The third season so far has been a rocky start. It's been good, but not crazy amazing. It's directly competing with the Demon Lord anime. And this is how. Because they both have a similar premise in which a character who is considered evil is now in a new role in a new world. All right?
Right.
The new show, the Demon Lord show, has so far been really good compared to Overlord Season 3. And I am afraid that Overlord Season 3 is going to get just drowned by the hype and noise that the Demon Lord anime is going to make. Because so far, I can see this getting a couple more seasons. Overlord after this season, I've read the material. I know it could go farther. But at the pace it's moving, I don't know. And Madhouse is making it. Madhouse is great at making the first season of anything they make. But then after that, they disappear. And that's why I'm scared. That is why I'm scared.
We all know that about Madhouse, though. They're completely notorious for cutting off the anime way too early.
And
Yeah.
if I had to suggest something though, if there was one studio I would love to recreate Berserk, it's Madhouse.
Yeah, Matt, I can agree 1000%. If Madhouse made Berserk, it would be fucking gangbusters, big time. Like it would destroy.
But
You know what?
my fear
I'll
would be,
agree.
my fear is though they would make the first season, they would bounce on the second season, and the second season would just be, oh, I can't. It would be far worse than anything you think it could be.
Right.
But the graphics would be tolerable.
Would it though? Because bad
Uh-huh.
content and good graphics don't equal good anime. Makin Key too.
You're right. If it
I
looks
don't know
good,
what
and
you're talking about.
if it looks good and it ain't interesting, I don't want to watch it.
But yeah,
Happy Sugar Life.
Ugh. Okay. All
I
right.
think only one of us fell for that get up.
I have seen the animation. It looks good, but the content,
Okay.
come on.
Right. Okay, so the animation is good. Since I'm assuming that I'm still the only one that's seen episode 1, right?
You've watched the full episode, but I have when checked out the animation for it.
Right. So the first episode, if you take out the whole child kidnapping pedophilia thing, then everything else around it looks interesting. The thing that bothers me is that it kind of paints that section as the good stuff, that the happy, of the happy sugar life, patent pending. But that ain't the happy. That is the. I would rather see people get put in bags and thrown in the closet than that shit. Like the scene where they were like bathing together. Like if that was just like, oh, there's a mom bathing her daughter or whatever, but they were fucking spooning and everything. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that shit. And you know that she was kidnapped because there's one section where they're walking home, where she's walking home, and there's like some girl like in an alley watching her with a hood over her head, and she's looking at a picture of the kidnapped girl. I'm like, please don't make me want to watch this because I don't want. And then I was like, then a little bit later, I was like, no, shit, bath scene, no, fuck this. The thing that's really sad is everything else around that looks good and is actually interesting. So it's sad that one thing is going to make me just want to fucking vomit, and I don't want to watch it.
Well, here I want to hear your opinion on this, then, Robert.
Sure.
What is your opinion on Planet With? Because that one's interesting. It's like both good and bad, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same boat. Planet With is one of those, ooh, shit's crazy. Oh, it's everywhere. What's going on? And I'm just like, at 4 episodes in, I'm like, what is going on? Can you explain that? Like, it's been 4 episodes. What the fuck is going on? Why are there alien dogs and cats talking to each other about fucking diplomacy and shit?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is the fucking ship of the giant cat a gianter cat?
Yeah.
And why does he... See, there's... Okay, so there's Fully Coolly Weird, which is just like, fuck it, we're just going out the window. And that's what you expect. You buckle in, you're like, Fully Coolly. That shit's just weird to be weird. And they've even said that he's the guy that made it. He's basically just like, I just wanted to make something cool and weird, and I'm just going to do it. And they're like, okay, cool, sure. This anime kind of takes itself... If it was going to do that and it took itself less seriously, I'd be on board. But right now I'm like teetering. I'm just like, please give me something. Give me something that's I can grab onto that isn't like I'm still watching it, but I'm teetering right now.
I'm still watching it, but I don't. It's not like I don't know why. I feel like the show is going to open up and then it's going to end because you got to remember it's only 12 episodes.
Right.
This is an example. This is like an opposite example of that Master Ragnarok. See, Master Ragnarok, nothing has happened, and Planet With, everything has happened.
Right.
But what context? Like,
but why though?
Like we
you
don't know. And then I can tell you, these next few episodes, we're going to figure out. Episode 5 is tomorrow.
Gotcha.
That means we have 7 more episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
like
7 episodes of filling a whole lot of story and still battles.
Like I feel like they've been taking like 1 episode per one of like the fucking Power Ranger guys and like fleshing out their story. Like there was the one guy that ended up becoming friends with the main dude.
Yeah.
And then there's like the two girls that were like in karate together, and they had a bond there, and that was interesting. But then like the main thing that really just gets me is just like you just start, and it's just the dude, the maid, yen cat chick or whatever, and then the fucking cat, and they're just like, it's a normal fucking day.
Yeah, well, they're saying it's a normal day while the cat's still there trying to peek under a doll.
Yeah. No, he's not trying. He is succeeding. He is taking the camera with him. Even when he was knocked out in that one, like episode 3 or 4, he was just like looking up at the panties, like, bro, like if you're gonna be lewd, just find actual women. Like, what are you doing, weirdo?
But taking it back into that, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. Fully Cooley's one of the ones I've recently started watching it because evidently my girl that only picks anime that I hate to watch and forces me to watch it on Saturday nights with Toonami.
Oh boy.
At first I looked at the first couple of episodes like, what the hell is going on?
That's the feeling you're supposed to feel while watching Fully.
Then it's like, after about 5-6 weeks worth of just having to watch it every Saturday, I'm finally like, you know what? I don't understand it, but I can do this.
With it. Yeah.
Like that's pretty much what.
Like Planet
With. Well, I mean, yeah, except Planet With makes less sense, which is hard to do with Fully Cooley. But it makes less sense than Fully Cooley. It takes itself more serious.
Fully Cooley still has its storyline that it follows. I mean, it makes me all over the place halfway through the episode, but
I mean, it's essentially, broadly speaking, like a coming of age story. Like a boy, he suddenly is surrounded by all these girls and shit, and he's got a fucking erection coming out of his head that births fucking fighting robots and monsters and shit. Like he like jizzes monsters out of his forehead. Out of his forehead dick, okay? Like how much more?
I don't think I want to watch this one that y'all been watching.
That reminds me of Whitest Kids You Know.
Which one?
So it's the one with this. He gets this squid. It's like a squid or an octopus penis attached to his forehead.
Oh my god! I haven't. It's been a while since I've seen Whitest Kids You Know. I believe the last one I saw was the Lincoln in How Lincoln Got Assassinated one. Hey, act it! Hey, you fat piece of shit! Hey, you skinny fuck!
But you know what? I'm going to bring it even back farther into another hidden gem. I don't know if either of y'all's watched Gabriel Dropout.
No.
Yeah.
Michael's like, yeah, but no.
I've seen it.
I'm going to take it. You hated it.
I don't hate it. It's just it's not one that I'd go for. It's like I've told you before, when I rate anime or when I think good anime, normally anime that I rate as good has rewatchability of some sort. I can't go back and rewatch that one. It's like was it Chrono Chronicles? I can't go back and watch it. I can't do it. I've seen it once and I'm like, I'm good. I can't do it again. I'm done.
Yeah, but you can also, well, you have to skip scenes on some of them. You go back and watch like Soulless.
You mean Sola?
Yeah, Sola. My bad.
Look, I do that with a lot of anime that I rewatch. I skip scenes I don't want to see, and I just pretend it didn't happen. You know, I know what happened.
Bean Can.
Look, I know what happened. You know what happened. All right. Just like with which one was it? I can't remember at the moment, but there's a lot of that are like that. I can't rewatch certain scenes because it's gonna make me upset again. Because I'm like, why did you have to do that right there? Oh, wait, you know what? Here, taboo tattoo. Why? Why'd you have to do episode 6? Why? I even remember the episode. Why? Why'd you have to do that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I do have to, if for a different type of anime that y'all probably haven't seen before, a different style. It's called Grand Blue. It's really, really good, and it's extremely funny. It's extremely funny. And you know how funny it is I would actually create GIFs of it and send it to Josh.
Yeah, trying to get me to watch it.
Because it is so funny. Like,
is it one of the newer ones from this season?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's the one about the. I've heard of it because I've watched a couple of YouTubers talking about recommendations. It's the one about the dude who's like something having to do with swimming or.
Yeah, it's a dive club and
they're like all bros and they're
diving
getting
club.
shit.
Well, yeah, there's guys, there's girls, but there's this episode that I couldn't make a GIF of because it was too long, so I'd have to make like 4 GIFs just to show this one scene, and then I was like, you know what, screw it. I'll just tell him to watch the freaking show. Then he'll see all of it and not have to do all this extra work. There's this one scene, though, where he needs help decorating his room. And it goes, without spoiling any of the jokes, there's one scene where this guy, that's an otaku guy, makes the room for him. And you can imagine how it probably looks when he opens the door and sees how his room looks, okay?
Oppai.
And this is what he says. He says this to the otaku guy. He says, I don't want my room like this. I want it to be the opposite of this. And he took that as, oh, you want the opposite of this.
Oh,
he comes
God.
back in his room, and it is the opposite of that.
Not Oppai.
And then here come all the female characters just knocking on his door about wanting to come on in.
Well, I mean, it worked, kind of.
Oh my God. Well, no, they were coming in to check out how his room was decorated.
Oh, okay.
And there you go. There you go.
Well, I think we've already covered my hidden gems I was aiming to talk about with all the cross references, I guess the best way to put it.
Gotcha.
So,
Well, don't forget, Attack on Titan Season 3 is out. And so far it's good, but it's not following so much the main character storyline. I mean, it is, but it's mostly following Captain Levi, and it's really good. I have to admit that. I'm liking it, but it's doing that Attack on Titan stuff that I hate. Every episode ends with a cliffhanger, and it's annoying because you have to wait for the next week.
Yeah, I unfortunately haven't seen the series at all. I'm way behind on that kind of stuff. So
I'm behind on it. I kind of, sort of, not the biggest fan of it.
Doesn't like death apparently, and tears and feels.
I mean, I wouldn't say that I don't like it. I'm just saying that like it's not my number one thing currently.
Well, there's one that you're watching that I'm kind of curious to hear about.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it's called Banana Fish.
Oh yeah. I watched the first 2 to 3 episodes of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was actually
You
pretty. I don't like your tone, Michael. What are you implying?
Nothing. Just asking if you like it.
I do like it so far. The animation style looks kind of, old school. And it's got a really, I mean, obviously it's in New York, so it's got a lot of shit going on. Like a lot of shit going on in the first 2 or 3 episodes where people are doing gangster shit. So
yes,
it's been pretty interesting so far. And the main character is basically like, oh, you're kind of like the butt boy of the gang lord. And he's like, fuck you, and he's like slapping people around.
He's not lying when he says that.
No. I'm not saying that he is. I mean, but let's like, the part of his character that he's trying to get away from. And
yeah.
There's a one guy that, that one episode where you find out the tapes. Oh, the tapes. And then he's like, ugh. And the fucking cop is showing him to him. And he's like, is this you? And he's like, stop it.
No,
yes.
See, that's the thing though. I was more interested on your opinion of it because I'm not saying it's not something I would watch. I will more than likely end up watching it because it reminds me of another anime. I think it's called Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks interesting. It's just I don't think it gets enough. I don't know what the word, press or coverage, and it looked like something that you had liked because you had talked about it a few times.
Oh yeah, I mean, I haven't watched it in a little while because I've been trying to catch up on all the summer shit that some of it I like, some of it I really didn't like. So I haven't gotten back to it, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna go and watch it again. It looks interesting. Like the animation is really good, and it has like a really kind of old school feel. Like the way the characters are drawn doesn't feel like your traditional like modern anime. And just the way that things are playing out, it's very much like a gangster flick. It doesn't really feel anime-esque. It feels more like The Sopranos, like that kind of shit. Like it's some dark shit happens. Like motherfuckers are dying. But I mean, I think I'm not gonna say who, but I mean, obviously, if you're talking about a gangster flick, like an old school, like like what was it, like I think it was like mid '60s or mid '50s or something like that. That kind of gangster shit in New York, people are gonna die. You know that,
right?
Like, if people didn't die, you'd be like, what kind of gangster flick is this? But there's some really interesting dynamics going on, and they've got the Japanese kid, and it's basically like, essentially it starts out like, obviously you get introduced to the kid, and he's like the leader of that section of the gang or whatever, and he's the leader of it because he's the main guy's butt boy, and he gets shit about it, but then he like beats the shit out of whoever talks shit about it, so he doesn't get shit about it often. And then they have like the Japanese press guy and like his little mentor kid that comes with him, that basically they want to get the scoop on what's going on with gang life, and they want to interview him. And in that whole situation, they get tied up with gang activity, and shit goes south. Super fucking south. As you can expect.
Sounds a little bit like hinamatsuri.
Well, hinamatsuri is just like, the gang stuff on hinamatsuri is like barely there. Like, it's like, oh, he's part of a gang. No, this one is just like, no, he's part of a gang.
Which
There's
they
people
make to a parody.
Right. I mean, the gang stuff is like a parody, and he's like talking to his parents about being in the gang and that kind of shit, and that's pretty funny in hinamatsuri. But in this one, it's like, no, it's serious gang shit. There's like dudes cracking each other upside the head with baseball bats and like chasing each other around, shooting each other, like every fucking episode. So it's not on the level of hinamatsuri whenever it comes to, oh, this is gang life. No, this is fucking gang life. Motherfuckers are dying, getting capped, and getting chased with cars and hit with baseball bats and shit. It's great. I like it. I don't know.
That's good to hear. I'm a little bit more interested in it now.
Yeah, one thing that I do know, and I haven't really seen it yet, and I had heard stuff about it, but apparently there's kind of like almost, and I don't know how much of it there is or how true it is, but there's kind of like a back and forth like love interest thing between the gang leader kid and like the little press photographer kid. I think that's what I hear, but I haven't seen any of that really. There's like one part where you think there might be something, but it's like the very precursors of it, and you don't really.
It's more of a light hint. I did see that the show is 24 episodes, so that's good to hear.
Yeah,
they actually got a whole lot of story with it.
Oh yeah. It's definitely it's gonna build up. Like, it definitely feels like it's really trying to build a foundation. Like, it wants to show you this world, show you how fucked up it is, show you how he gets treated, how like people mock him. Even the cops are mocking him. Like, trying to show him his own fucking child porn. Like, how fucked up is that? Like, is this you? Are you fucking this dude and you're 7? Yeah, that's me. What's your fucking point? And they're basically like poking fun at him. I'm like, dude, this is fucked up. But it's like way earlier in New York history, so that kind of shit would be way, way more common.
Right.
So it's kind of like a period piece. But yeah, it's surprisingly good. Like, I would definitely recommend it for sure. So far, like, it's been strong so far. I like I said, I've only seen like 3 episodes, but yeah, it's good shit.
That's definitely good to hear.
Yeah.
Well,
and then
I gotta find out a different way to organize my folders, because I was aiming to start bringing up stuff for the next part of it, but
well, we put a
I do
gap.
want to say one that I'm liking it's still currently on. It's Persona 5, the animation.
Right.
I like it. I haven't played the game, and I'm almost willing to bet that the game has a million times more content. Okay, I'm willing to bet that.
I have the
anime
game.
has been really good so far, and if the anime is this good, even though the anime spoils the game essentially, I'm more interested in the game now that I've watched this anime, because the quality is really, really good.
Yeah, the characters, like, I do have the game, and I've played like the first I've played up past the first boss and then some. And that's essentially like 20 hours worth of content. The only the actual battle system, like I played Persona 4, I didn't complete it, but I played Persona 4, liked it a lot. Liked the way the battle system was set up. Kind of has a Pokemon vibe, but you basically like crunch them together to create random new ones, and based off of the way that your friendships are, it creates different bonds that makes them stronger. But I'm not going to get too deep into that. But the story wise, it's definitely really interesting. And it's really, really detailed, and I really get attached to the characters big time. But like 20 hours in, I already, especially even just the English voice actors, they do a great job. Like they make the characters really feel good. I like them. So I probably, because of that, I probably won't watch the animation because I want to like ride that all the way to the end. Bad phrasing, but I want to play the game. I stopped at the first.
That's all right. I understand.
Right. Yeah, like I have the funny thing is I played it once, stopped at the first boss. I played it again, stopped at the first boss. I need to just now that it's still fresh in my mind, I need to just jump back in and start because I'm like part of the way into the next section of the storyline where stuff is starting to get interesting again because of the way that well, you probably, if you've seen the anime, you probably know who like the second dude is. Like the general.
I pretty much know all the characters they've shown so far in the animes. It's on episode 19, so you can assume it's almost finished.
It's probably pretty close to the end. You're probably like
without spoiling anything, I am right after Hacker Girl.
Okay,
there.
I've not gotten to Hacker Girl yet. So
there you go.
Okay, so just to get an idea. Okay, so just to get an idea of how much content is packed into each episode, I'll ask you this: the first guy, the first target, how long is it before he's kaput?
If I'm sure about this, it was within the first 3 episodes.
Okay, so 3 episodes is equivalent to about
24 minutes an episode, so it's about over an hour.
Okay, so over an hour is the equivalent of like 20 hours plus of gameplay. So you can see how much extra shit you're gonna get.
Right, they generally give each little part about, depending on the part of the story, they generally give that about an hour per. But it's dependent on a few things, but it's also, I know it's shortened and more condensed, but they do a really good job at making it coherent and making you actually care about the characters and what they're doing.
And there's a lot of side characters that you're probably going to get you have the opportunity to get a lot more time with them because you can build like their bonds and stuff, which is interesting. Sorry, Josh, we're talking way over you. Go ahead.
Well, the main thing whenever it comes to one that does like with Persona and making the game into an anime, the part I hate about it is because the game you can handle in so many different ways. I'm actually afraid to start the Persona 5 animation just because it's probably not going to go by my gameplay. One, because I sucked at the game, but
it doesn't have to though. That's the part I like about anime that have different endings. And there's a lot of anime out there. A lot of people don't even know that there's anime out there that have different endings. They watch it, they're like, "Oh, that's the ending." Well, I didn't like that ending, or they're like, "I love that ending. That's my definitive." A lot of anime out there have lots of different endings. The one they gave you is the one that they thought was best.
Steins Gate is a good example. Steins Gate is based off of a game that has multiple endings, and the sequel season is based off of an ending that didn't happen in the original. It's a offshoot. In fact, there's an extra episode that ties the two together that's a different alternate, like beta line episode version of the last episode.
See, and that's extremely, I love it when shows do that because whether or not you like the ending, there's an ending out there for you. So you can get something for it. You may not have been able to see it happen. You may have had to read it or play it, but it's there for you. And there's a lot of anime out there that do that, and a lot do it really well. Some struggle at it. One instance is rewrite. The first season was good. I liked it. All right. But it started off to where you were like, what is going on? I don't care about any of this. And then once it got going, it was good, but you didn't know what was going on at the end of it. You were like, huh? Why? What? And then the second season came, and it kind of followed the ending, but it gave you a different route on the ending, and it was a little different. But they They did it right, but it was weird. That's the best way to put it.
Okay.
It's like one other thing. It's like Evangelion. There's the original series, then there's, if you don't like that ending, there's End of Evangelion that basically like supplants itself as the ending. The last 2 episodes. Then if you don't like those for whatever reason, there's the Rebuild films, which just redoes the entire series as films. So there's a version of all of those that somebody can probably like.
Well, I'm going to go back and compare whenever he brought up rewrite. No, I didn't actually agree with how they handled like the ending of the first season and the beginning of the second season. But turn around and I'm going to say Island because I did go through the visual novel. I know what happens through it. I love how they handled each route because they done what rewrites should have done all through it. They're showing the bad endings and the bad routes you could have taken through. You've seen what they've done with the little flashbacks.
I agree. I agree. What he means is Island is doing something that rewrite should have done, but you know that's kind of looking back in the past. So if anime can take what Island is doing and make that better, there's going to be a lot of good story-driven anime out there that are going to make people want to be like, hey, maybe I want to go buy this series so I can read more into what's going on so I can find out what actually happened, or maybe I want to try out the game. In Rewrite's case, they didn't do that too well. It got better towards the end, but they didn't do it in the best way, especially in a way to try to draw more people to watch it. Because more people, I think the most people that came in towards the end, they were just wanting to see what crazy thing was going to happen. They didn't really care outside of that.
It didn't really let you know that there was more route choices just because it's set to such a stagnant story during it. I mean, not stagnant at all. Don't get me wrong. I loved Rewrite. But
no, I understand. I understand.
But you take, and it didn't show you that there was alternate routes. So a person that's just watching it that doesn't know that it came from a visual novel is just going to be like, well, that sucked. I'm missing half the story.
Like the most they do in explaining the fact that there's alternate routes is through dialogue and exposition, where they'll tell you there's all types of different things, different world lines and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, okay, cool. But you're not seeing that happen, so you don't understand it. A good example of seeing that happen and understanding it would be like Steins Gate. You see the world lines eventually, without spoiling anything on how anything happens. You see the world lines for real, at a grand scale.
You see the world lines before you even see the world lines, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and then when you really see it, mind blown. You got to restart the series just to see it.
You don't even know what you're looking at, and you will eventually.
But I'm gonna go on ahead into the next part of it because I'm gonna target Willis here a little bit.
Oh, God,
so I have a scene I know you've seen that if someone walked in on you watching it, you're gonna have to explain.
All right, what is it?
All right, bringing it up.
Oh God, are we gonna watch it? We gonna get
no? It's not gonna be watching it just because I don't know exactly.
Oh my God!
All right. So, explain to us exactly what's going on in this.
Oh boy, you need to take our window.
Might want to keep that window up so I can explain why people see that, not my face. That's not my face, luckily.
I've seen this scene too. I watched the scene earlier today.
You got the image up?
Yeah, I've got the image up. Can you see it?
I can see it on the screen.
Yeah, the image keeps going back down whenever somebody else talks, but
yeah, you need to click on yourself there. Click on Eamon too.
I did click on it.
Okay, all right, my bad. Go ahead. Sorry.
I figure it out.
All right. So if I was sitting down, standing up, pacing my room, whatever I was doing, someone happened to walk in and see this scene, the first thing I could say is, well, he just woke up. He didn't understand what was going on, and his hands were just in random places. Okay, it isn't what you think it is. He was tired from a long day. All right. Now, is that actually what happened? Mostly, I guess.
I mean,
the problem is
it's how it started.
The problem is the fact that he said what he said twice.
Yeah, I mean,
so he knew the first time and he kept going. which it's funny that you brought this one up. It kind of reminds me of another anime called Princess Lover. There's this scene, and it's a trope, where the accidental pervert, the lucky pervert. There's a scene where the guy accidentally gropes the girl's chest that he's trying to save, and she ends up waking up, and so she makes it seem like she didn't know that it happened. So he's playing it off. He's feeling a little bit better, and then she brings it up, and you literally see his soul leave his body. And it was amazing because you don't really see that ever happen. Like, she tried to play it off, and then she said it, and he was like, "Oh."
I think an interesting way that's been flipped on its head is in Seven Deadly Sins, where Meliodas is just like, "Nah, I'm just grabbing tits. Like, I don't give a fuck." Yeah. he's literally just like, it isn't just like, "Oh, it's an accident." He's like, "Honk, honk, honk." He's like, there's one scene where he's like, "Oh, I'm glad you're okay," and he's like squeezing. And she's like, "God damn it."
Oh, let's not forget the other ones where he's actually up and under his skirt whenever the pig goes to talking to him, and he's just standing there like, I don't give a shit.
No, Meliodas gives zero fucks. He has zero chill.
All right, but Robert, have you got to this scene?
Oh. I think I have, yeah. With the cat girl, yeah.
Huh. Oh, no, this one's
from actually,
Island.
Sorry. Oh, that's from Island. Oh, I think...
Not gonna lie, she does look a lot like the cat girl from
Yeah, she does. She does,
Yeah.
and she's got the little ear thing.
The only difference is her hair is a little bit lighter. The girl in Yuuna her hair's more blue.
Right, that's the only reason I thought, because there were some scenes that kind of remind me of this in that show where she has like the ear things going on. She did have like a little hoodie hiding her ears at first, but anyway, no, I don't remember if I've seen this scene or not.
Well, if I told you she was getting a massage, would you believe it?
Well, I'm gonna need a couple more frames to determine that.
Well, this part of it.
Fast forwarding and rewinding that scene doesn't really help it much.
No, it doesn't. Just because for a good segment of probably about 45 seconds, if someone was looking at it over your shoulder, you wouldn't believe it. Especially the scene that follows it, which is probably going to be my follow-up for you next week.
Okay.
But
I don't know. My favorite moment that's like that, only not exactly like that, is the one that I sent you. I'll send it to you again if I can find it. It's from that one that I just watched, and it's great. It's like my favorite quote right now. God, I can't figure out.
Oh,
yeah. Here we go. I'm just gonna send it back to the chat. There you go.
They kind of reminded me of what's it, Krillin in Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
He's gonna pull things out of you like you've never.
We're gonna have to send these to us beforehand because I'm not pulling up my Facebook during this.
What did he say? Krillin in one of the Dragon Ball Z Abridged episodes. He said, he said, Gohan. He's like, "Are you sure?" He was they were talking about Frieza arriving on planet Earth, and Gohan's like, "Are you sure it's him?" He's like, "Gohan, once a man's been inside you, you know when he's coming." Like, oh my god.
But yeah, I'll just read off the caption. It was in what was it called? Anglo-Moas Record of Mongol Invasion, which is a really long name, but I'm just gonna call it Anglo-Moas. It's a really good show, actually, so far.
It is. It is good.
The main guy kind of reminds me, the main guy's face. Tell me if I'm wrong. He kind of reminds me of the face of, or the kind of face style of fucking Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Kind of like a similar kind of square face and the way the eyes are done.
Right.
Kind of like that. But anyway, that's not the point. Like the big brutish dude on the ship, they break out and then they're taking over the ship. He picks the big thing up and they're trying to get a hold of the ship because it's in a fucking storm. And he's like, "When I stick something big in a hole, I don't stop until I'm done."
Hold on, I had to figure out a way to bring it up.
I had to freeze frame that.
Now.
Okay, I had to freeze frame that and fucking send that to you guys because it's so great. Like
all right, yep, I had to bring it up.
When I stick something big in a hole, I don't stop till I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, there aren't too many comic reliefs in that one, but that one in particular just got me. I had to rewind and screenshot that shit just for you guys.
Now they've been doing that really well in some of these anime as of late. It'll be a serious anime, and it'll be some random comment just out of nowhere from one of the characters, and if you don't catch it, you've missed something that is just hilarious.
Right. Like, I mean, that's what I like. Because it's like a super serious anime, and it's got like some really it's got like historical value and shit. Like it's based off of like the Mongol invasion, and this dude just talking about shoving shit in holes randomly for no reason other than just like He shoving things in little holes.
But I'm bringing up the last one that I'm gonna do off this segment, just because it's from the same anime. Or not the same anime, but I ran into it during my search earlier for scenes like this on what you need to explain. Have you got to this one yet, Robert?
Oh yeah, I've seen this one.
Have your way.
Well, you gotta keep it up.
They're wrestling.
Mommy and Daddy are fighting, I guess.
Honestly, though, legit, like the scene immediately after this, where the cat girl's like has the fucking evil eyes and like the background is blacking out, is hilarious.
Yes, it is. Of course, most of her scenes like that are hilarious as well.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
And well, no, you haven't got there yet, so.
No, I've only seen like the first 2 or 3, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes for a lot of the more recent stuff that I haven't been focusing on directly because I was catching up.
Nice. And then, pretty much one of the next to the last ones that I'm gonna bring up is the Mary Fucker kill that you had brought up earlier.
I better watch out. He's gonna show his prawn folder.
I got this shit hidden deep. What are you talking about?
It's called Secret Files. Do not touch.
How'd you know?
How do I know?
But let's bring up the Konosuba group just because, Robert, you suggested this earlier. Between Megumi, Darkness, and Agua.
Megumi. Okay.
I'm dyslexic. Leave me alone.
Megumi.
It drives me nuts. Like, you don't understand for years. Oh.
2. No, I've known you for 2 years.
2 years. Is that years? Is that plural? Do you say 2 year or 2 years? My God.
I don't know. I take it a year at a time.
Anyway, I did think about this in terms of my principles and shit. So my answer, even though
principle. I already know where he's going with this.
Yeah. Okay. Slow your fucking roll.
So you obviously understand that what he's actually saying is not his real answers. It's just the answers that he wants you to know.
No.
Because he's too ashamed to admit who his real number 1 is.
How about you go first, Michael? How about that?
No, go ahead.
No.
I want to hear your real answer. Good.
All right. I don't care which one of you go first.
Okay, fine. Fuck Aqua, because she's Aqua. Marry Megumi because Megumi, and then kill. And then I would kill Darkness because she would get off on it so hard.
You ain't wrong.
I was originally thinking about marry Darkness because kinky sex and all that shit. But I can't kill Megumi. I just can't. Not gonna happen.
All right. So you gotta marry Darkness. All right.
No.
You gotta have your way with Megumi, and Aqua's useless. She can heal and bring you back, but she's probably the reason you died in the first place. I'm just being honest. Probably the reason why you died. Now, I mean, you could say the same thing about the other two as well, but at least there's a brain inside the skull.
Are you sure? Are we talking about the same three girls here?
Okay, hold on. So if you're talking about
Megami is so.
Hold on. No. Hold on. So if you mean how you died, if you're saying you as in supplanting yourself as like Kazuma.
Yes, that's how I do this.
Okay, right. That's what I'm saying. Aqua is a goddess. She probably could have gotten Kazuma killed. I don't see how Darkness or Megumin could have gotten him killed from beyond. They're not goddesses. Is all I'm saying.
Well, what I was saying is she's probably the reason why you would get killed. I.e., she just walk bumbling out in the world and then she, does whatever. Or, she brings in a huge tidal wave to destroy a wall and maybe you get drowned. I don't know.
She ain't gonna do a tidal wave. She's got the little fucking water pistols.
And she did do the tidal wave when she fought the
right.
demon knight, dude. That's not.
I forgot about that. It's been a while.
Not a huge plot point.
Yeah. Megumin would probably accidentally kill you with an explosion, and even if she maimed you, she'd be down for the count and she couldn't help you.
No, see, Megumin wouldn't destroy you with explosion. Here's why: because she needs somebody to carry her back.
That is true. And darkness wouldn't get you
killed.
Darkness
can't hit you. She can't hit you. Like
she can't. Okay,
she can't all day.
She can't hit you, and also she wants to be hit. So if anything, she's gonna like suffocate you because she's like dead on top of you whenever she's defending you. There you go.
Well, she never hits her target. She might be able to hit you.
Didn't she actually hit something at one point, like in that one episode where they go down into like the catacombs or whatever?
I'm pretty sure it was by accident.
Well, accident, sure, but I think she actually made one hit. One.
I can't remember if she actually made it hit or it hit her sword.
Something like that. Close enough. That's about as close as she's gonna get.
Well,
and I like that they play those stereotypes. Like they go all the way with it, like their whole stats and skills, and they make fun of how Kazuma's like. That's why Aqua's never going to get smarter, because her intelligence is the lowest it can be. She has high everything else, but her intelligence is low. Really, really low.
Right, and how Kazuma is a thief, and the first thing and only thing he uses thief for is stealing panties.
Hey, after the first time, he didn't mean to do it the second time, all right?
Right.
But he did do it the second time.
You gotta look, he is lucky. Look at what he walks around with. I mean, come on.
A bunch
of lucky though.
A bunch of idiots that's gonna get him killed. Yeah.
I mean, it's not idiot guy.
Aqua got his head chopped off, and you can blame it on Darkness, but Aqua took his attention away, so he didn't remember to put down his sword. So Aqua got his head chopped off. Darkness never helps with anything except she makes things more awkward.
Yeah.
And Megumin, all she does is make you carry her everywhere she goes because she only has one attack.
Or prance and then get
and she has the ability to learn more attacks. She does not want to learn more attacks.
Nope.
Which makes her useless in dungeons.
Pretty much, yeah.
Depends on what part of the dungeon.
And they make fun of. And they make fun of that as well.
Yeah.
You can't go in the dungeons with them because she'd blow the whole place up.
Yeah, pretty much. She just like stays on the outside. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the only one that he doesn't really get action with her, but the only one that he gets close enough to getting action with is Darkness during that Succubus episode, where he thinks he's dreaming.
He's had he's had close encounters with the other two. With Aqua, they made fun of it in one of the first episodes where she was talking about where they were sleeping in the hay and she heard him rustling beside her.
Right.
And then he got all scared because he realized what she knew, but she didn't realize what she knew. Right. And with Megumin, there was the bath scene where they were playing chicken.
Right. There was that.
He was called a lolly. What was it? A lolly
king.
Yeah, lolly king. And
right. But with Darkness, he got up in there, even though he thought he was dreaming. He got up in there.
She got more up on him, but yeah.
Right, yeah. But I mean, they're up on each other, both intentionally, whether or not they realize that's what it was or not. The other stuff was just like, it was just like, oopsie, it was playing on like the fucking like accidental shit that you were talking about before.
Right.
I have to say, my principle on one of them was the same as Robert. It would have had been marry Megumi, fuck Aqua, kill Darkness because she.
Who the fuck is Megumi?
I think what we need to do is play a video of her doing her famous explosion, and then you can hear her say her own voice.
Look. It's simple. Megumi, like mean, like bad, asshole, like us.
I'm not that far off.
No, Megumi is like fucking.
Megumi is some other character in some anime where she probably has like curly hair and glasses, and she like breathes heavily over books. I don't know. Just threw out a random situation.
Megumi sounds like some fucking Japanese Ninja Turtle shit.
I don't know. I don't think I could be terrified of a turtle named Megumi that comes out.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not terrified of Megumi either. She can hit. Well, she can hit stuff, but she's not going to really be. Anyway, whatever.
She hits everything in the.
Now, this is not related to Konosuba. I don't know. Are we still on?
We don't have to say Marry, fuck, kill. Well, we can do more if you have one.
No, I actually had something I remembered. I should have brought it up earlier. What did you think about them bringing Broly to canon in that movie? He's actually being brought into canon now. He's going to be an actual character in the actual canon of Dragon Ball.
Okay, so I'm not sure how I feel about it, but that trailer is hype, though.
Isn't it?
It is hype.
Like
so honestly, like I'm optimistic because it looks good. Whether or not they're gonna I don't know how they're gonna do Broly. Like if they're just gonna be like, if they're gonna recap some of the old shit that he did, but the new design looks cooler. He didn't look like a little fucking string bean.
Yeah. And I like how he'll have to end up going through his transformations.
Yeah.
It'll look better for him.
Right, and I did see there was a guy who was looking at I can't remember it was the guy who plays Goku in DBZ Abridged. He has a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Masako X or whatever his name is. He was going over like the press release stuff, and apparently it's going to be the first time that we see Vegeta in Super Saiyan God form. Because they had like the different forms that he's going to be in.
Yeah.
And it showed him in that. And you only see that in the actual manga. Like I've got the manga.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The manga, they actually, that's one big difference between the manga and the show is that they would actually switch from God to Blue constantly. Like that was because, God mode didn't drain them of their key so constantly.
It's kind of like it's kind of like the base level God form. It's like the regular Saiyan or like the Super Saiyan 1. You got
increased speed, increased power, but it doesn't drain your power so much. Right. The other forms drain you like crazy.
Right, because you're taking it's like different tiers. It's like Super Saiyan is one type of key, and then God key is a totally different thing. So it's the base form of God key, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm liking it. I'm curious though on if they're gonna make Broly stronger than Jiren.
Yeah.
Because I don't see them. I do not, for the life of me, I do not see them bringing back Ultra Instinct for that movie. I do not see it happening.
Probably not.
Ultra Instinct probably not being pulled out into episode 100 of the next season of Dragon Ball. I don't see it coming back anytime soon.
I mean, honestly, I don't really want it to come back because honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to it being a one-time thing and never coming back, personally. But
yeah. Because the way they did it, though, it was just so good. And then they built on it. You were finally ready for that finished product. You jumped up and you shouted, and you were.
Oh yeah, I absolutely did. But the thing is, they also built a pathway to where it's like, oh, there's Super Saiyan Blue 2 now, or whatever.
And they built that pathway because the way they made Ultra Instinct look, you can't do that without almost killing yourself.
Right, exactly. It has to be like honestly.
Kaioken was bad what it could do because they also said that it could almost kill you. But what Ultra Instinct looked like it could do,
yeah. Yeah, honestly, the one thing I will say about Kaioken is I'm glad they brought it back, but the fact that it's he can just like be like, Kaioken times whatever, and he can just like fly around with it, that bothered me just a little bit.
I think the way they wrote that in though is because he uses that god form now. He's really good at master. He's a good master with his ki, so he can regulate it properly. But I do agree as well. The times 100 stuff, it's going to take a toll. But it seems like now it's an additional form on top of a form, and it's not bad. But I don't want them using it every other fight. Like, I can't beat him with Super Saiyan. Let's go Super Saiyan Kaioken times 500.
Right. You know? It's kind of like with the battle with Hit when they first brought it back, where he was like, he basically just comments, he's like, if I hadn't done it right, I would have died. You
see this dude in the background pulling up characters named Megumi from Food Wars.
I got curious on what it would pull up.
You need to throw an N at the end of that.
Yeah, there's Megumi, and I'm assuming some other character.
Megumi is from... Well, it's actually Megumi still. But she's in Food Wars, and that show is hilarious.
There's Food Wars, and I can't click on any other images because...
You don't want to scroll down, but the one on the far right, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend, is great.
Bro, do you not use... Like, 2 words, safe search. If you want to scroll
all we know is, and everyone out there watching who may have watched this or watching it currently or will watch in the future, we know what this dude be looking at, don't we? Hashtag exposed.
No, I made sure it was viewer friendly. If anybody ever watches this,
just turn safe search on, bro.
Megumin reminds me of Rika from what's it? Shinobu.
Yeah, I'm lost. I don't know.
It's Shinobu something, but it's really, really good. But they remind me of each other heavily. If you know who Rika is, can you pull up a quick picture of Rika?
Yeah, hold on.
Like, when you see her, you're gonna be like, okay, I can see that. And she's every inch of that character.
Poor choice of words, but sure, I gave.
No, literally, like.
It's viewer friendly on it.
Okay, good.
All right, that one.
Yeah, that's Rika.
All right, I'm still waiting for it. I don't see it yet.
You have to share your screen and hit the picture, I think.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's
Rika.
Okay, I got you. Eye Patch Girl.
By the way, that anime is hilarious, and if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it in this order. First season, OVA. Second season, Take On Me. All right? Take On Me is the last movie, and it is really, really good, and it's not a recap. It's not a recap at all. It's a brand new story with great animation, great voice acting.
You're going to have to email me a memo or some shit.
I feel like I do this every day.
Hey, man.
We'll Facebook it.
Hey, man, all I have to say is if you really want me to know it that bad, you should know that I'm not going to remember it in that order.
I think I sent you a full spreadsheet.
No, you don't need to send me a spreadsheet. I'm just saying if you're that worried about it. Because either send it to me or I'm going to ask you again later. How about that?
I'm cool with that as long as you watch it.
Okay. I do plan on watching it. It's on my list. I've just been busy watching other shit right now.
It's hilarious. And there's a lot of those scenes, too, that would fit in this.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk briefly about the abomination that is Calamity of a Zombie Girl, which you guys haven't seen. And you probably shouldn't because it's fucking terrible.
I looked up some stuff about it, and I'm okay. I'm good. It doesn't seem like it would fit in the type of shows that I would watch. I'm not saying it's bad. In my opinion, it's just what it was trying to show. It looked like it was Mars of Destruction bad. I think it's Mars of Destruction bad.
No,
I don't know what that is. It's one of the lowest rated anime ever.
No, I'm saying you're not saying it's bad. I'm saying it is bad. I can tell you all you need to know about this in probably a paragraph. Kids go sneak into a fucking high school or wherever the fuck. I don't even know if it's a high school. It's like a building. You don't even figure out where the fuck it is. It's like, where is this building again? What is this? Is it a high school? Is it a fucking lab? Who fucking knows? Who knows? I'm pretty sure it's a school. They sneak into a school. they look and try to find something. Like they're just like, oh well, we're the occult club. We need to find cool occult shit, whatever. And they find, and one girl knows what it is. She wants to find it. They find these fucking coffins. They open up the coffin, and there's dead girls in it. Like they're they're all they've been dead for a long time.
Dead. Okay.
They're right.
They're dead.
They're dead for 1,000 years dead.
Okay.
They're mummies, mummified. That's what I was trying to say. And they pull a rock off of them. Like they dig around and find like this. Well, the one girl digs around and finds this fucking like stone, and apparently she's like in with this weird mad scientist guy who has a sister, and they don't really explain who they are initially, and they're just like, we're doing weird experiments, Herb Derp, give us this stone. And like, okay, sure. And then the girls reverse mummify, wake up, immediately just start accidentally killing people because she bumps into like this old dude, and the old dude like puts his arm around her or whatever, and she like rips his fucking arm off on accident. It's like one of those don't touch me. It's like one of, in a usual like anime, it'd just be like a smack upside the head or like knock him into the ceiling. She like rips his fucking arm off. And then they fucking chase down like the kid that his only fucking plot point is he's the nerdy looking kid that knows how to pick locks, and that's the only fucking reason that he was there. He picks locks, and they joked about him liking one of the other athletic girls. Who fucking cares, right? That's the most plot development he got. He gets his fucking neck broken and arm ripped off. Actually, maybe the arm ripped off was him. I know what the other guy was. She like smacks him upside the head, and it's the first time you like figure out, ooh, she's got super strength. She like smacks him upside the head, and he like cracks his head on the back of a wall and dies. Like his brains fall out. It's like a gore, like it's like a slasher film basically.
Right.
So they go around looking for this fucking orb thing, and they're like, who has it? And the nerdy kid's like, I don't have it. And she fucking like rips his arm off, and he's like, oh fuck off. And there's just, it's almost so bad it's good, because there's this one scene where right after he gets his arm ripped off, he runs out and he's like freaking out, and it's like supposed to be all serious and shit. And they're like slowly going after him, and like any other slasher film. And he runs downstairs and falls into the fucking hallway. And the girl that he likes is like maybe like 5 or 6 doors down. And she's like getting like a fucking bag of chips or something from the machine. And she turns, looks, and sees him. He's on his knees yelling for her, and she's got her fucking headphones on. She doesn't notice somehow that he's got his fucking arm ripped off and he's bleeding out. And she's like, What are you talking about? Shut up, and goes back in her fucking room, and the guy gets his neck broken. I'm like, he's got his arm ripped off, and you're just gonna be like, I can't hear you. I'm going back in my room. Fucking stupid.
I do have a
stupid
quick question for you. I'm not sure if you have already, but have you watched Parasite?
Oh.
No, I know about it. I have a general idea of what it's about, but I haven't seen it. It's on my list.
All right. I recommend watching Parasite, and another one that I had recommended to both of you, which was Inushiki Last Hero. It's good. The animation gets kind of weird at times, but it is really good, and it has feels. And there's a surprise appearance of a president in it.
Okay.
Trump?
Yes, a surprise appearance of a president. Yes.
Okay. Well, then we've been at it for about an hour. I'm probably going to do the last segment here. If y'all want to do it, it's the random anime game.
Okay. So how's this going to work?
So, first off, we're going to watch 3 to 5 episodes. We're going to have to rate either watch or drop. It's up to y'all if we each want to do different ones from it. But if we get a sequel, we have to go to the first season. We can re-roll. Yeah, okay, 3 episodes. But we can re-roll if it's either something that we've watched or it's just impossible to find, which some of them from the 1970s might be. And
You're gonna have to tell
That's
me what it
pretty
is because I can't really see. Like I've got it. The quality is such that I can't actually see.
You're
what
also
it is,
gonna have to keep the screen up on yours because it keeps pulling our talking.
I'm gonna have to learn how to just keep that up because I've got it clicked on mine. It's just not keeping it. Almost said a bad phrase there. It's
whatever.
the web page is
Go
not
ahead.
staying up for everybody.
I just forced it on mine, so just go for it.
All right. I'm pretty sure we've all already seen through Fully Cooley.
Are you
Okay.
doing this for each of us or what?
Let's just do like. I thought the idea was that we all watch the same one
Same
and then
one?
talk about it next
Okay.
week.
Yeah, that's what I was aiming to.
Okay.
Keep
Fully
it as-
Cooley, we've all seen.
Ken's Robo Damodare? Prince versus Penguin Empire?
Okay.
Anybody heard of it?
I have.
You've seen it, Willis?
It's not bad, but I don't know if this is the. I doubt it's the sequel or the OVA.
Okay, so if you've seen it, then maybe we should do another one.
This may turn into a long game if we're going
I've
by what
seen
Willis hasn't seen.
I've seen that one. I've seen this one.
Yowamashi Pedal.
I like sport. I've seen that one again. I've seen that one. Hey, that one's actually good. I like that. I've seen that one too.
This may be a long game.
That one's good.
This is
damn
just gonna be the Michael recommendation hour.
Ah, no, you.
That one's good. All right, wait.
Yeah, both of it.
That one was the new version, but yeah, it's good. That was actually a new version. The original was amazing.
I've heard of this one.
I've heard of it, but it looks like it was made in the 70s.
It probably was, but I heard it may have been made in the 70s. I didn't hear you say, yeah, I've seen it.
Well, I think I have heard about Sunred. I don't remember.
Bit, if you can, please. Just a little bit. Oh, it says 2008.
No, there you go.
Oh.
It's a comedy series.
Wait, each episode is comprised of several shorts weighing in at anywhere from a few minutes. Oh, so it's like Psyche. It's just you know those short onas or ONA, the onas,
Yeah.
they're like 3 minutes long. It's like eight of those mixed together in one episode, so it doesn't ever fall or anything like that.
Okay. So are we gonna stick with that, or are we gonna keep going? Does that count or no?
I know one person in here doesn't like those kind.
Well,
it was in 2018, and it looks like
Right.
it was made in the 70s.
Well, it's 2008
Right.
that it was made. But...
I think the point of this whole thing is it doesn't have to be one that we actually like.
Right. No,
I mean, if you
agree.
want to keep it to that, I'll watch the first few episodes of it.
If y'all end up liking this, I would recommend watching Psyche because Psyche is really, really good. It's hilarious, though. I have to warn you, it is extremely hilarious.
Okay. So I guess the one for next one is Tentai Senshi Sunred. First 3 episodes, right?
Yeah, it's gonna
That
be
one
more.
scene-
It's gonna be more like 9 episodes, but yeah, it's because each episode has like 3 episodes in it. So
All right, I'll look it up.
All right.
I actually have heard of it. I did actually. I think I watched somebody talk about it, so it's actually supposed to be good. But I haven't actually seen it.
All right, I'll put it through our group chat here. That way we know. Get the first 3 episodes down on it.
Okay, I can do that tonight probably.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Anybody has anything else they need to talk about?
watch
Monogatari.
Parasite, watch Inushiki, Last Hero, watch Ultimate Survivor, and watch Overlord.
Watch
And
Chio's School Road and Manibado were both good for different reasons. I wish we had talked more about Chio's School Road, but I don't think you guys have seen it or don't care about it.
Well, I mean, we
I've
have.
seen it. It's not bad. I like it.
It
We
was
won't
one of
run out of new content this week. It's something we can look into and talk more about next week.
Yeah, and we didn't talk about Cells at Work, although I've only seen I get the general gist of it.
I
mean,
like
it's
Cells at Work. I gotta admit, the platelets are
right. The platelets
the
are like
cutest thing you've ever seen in your life.
It is like crack only with cuteness.
Literally.
Much.
Like every time you get a scene with them, you want the scene just to last a little bit longer.
Like the one where they were like bobbing back and forth with the little flag, trying to get somebody's attention. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah. Or when there was one where they were carrying a box down some steps.
Oh yeah. That one. Oh my god.
But I mean, still, I'll be catching up on a few of them next week. We can more than likely talk about stuff like Steins Gate Zero.
No, we can't talk about Steins Gate Zero because Michael is like not gonna watch it until it's done.
Hey, am I wrong for doing that?
No. What I was gonna say immediately after that, before you prejudged, is that you're not wrong in doing that, or something approximate to that.
All right.
Because I actually stopped. And I haven't seen any since I saw the first like 6 or 7 episodes.
It's not because he thinks it's bad. It's because a lot is happening, and you need to have all that information at once. Otherwise, it's going to drive you crazy.
Honestly, I'm probably going to rewatch the entire series and go and watch the beta crossover episode and immediately go into this because there's a lot going on, and holy fuck, it does not let up.
That's exactly why I'm waiting.
Yeah,
and I know, Willis, you're more than likely watching this Sonohara So no Karirin San.
I don't know what that is. Which one is that? Oh.
Yeah. So we still got some stuff to talk about next week, but
Angel's death ain't no good. Well, it's not great. It's kind of boring.
It's edgy.
It's like I'm 13 and I discovered emo edgy.
It's funny you said that because the first 3 words of the description is 13-year-old.
My point exactly.
But yeah, we'll hit on some of that next week. I'll have set my description, everything on this, rework it where cover some of the stuff we talked about.
Hey man, I had fun. Like honestly, I couldn't give 2 shits if somebody's watching right now. I'm just having fun.
I think the 3 viewers are us.
It says 4 on my side, so we should be happy with what we have. Well, I am happy whoever's watching that you're watching. All right,
Michael.
Yes.
I'm watching on my tablet and on my computer.
But did you hit the like button twice?
No, I didn't.
Somebody did.
Somebody jumped in. Okay, all right, yeah, okay.
Well,
and if the video's archived, people could be watching it from there too.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I'm going to set it up to archive. I've just got to set the description because I didn't know what to do with it yet.
You better.
But anyone who watched it in the future, thank you for joining the AOE or AEO or something like that.
This is a work in progress, guys. Just it'll get better. We're just starting this off, just having fun. Bunch of friends trying to do a podcast. It'll get better.
If I had to recommend, it should be AEO because AOE is area of effect. So,
hey, nothing wrong about that.
Yeah. It just may be confused as a gaming podcast.
I gotcha. Anyway, we can discuss that later.
Well, thanks for joining, and catch us back next week, 8 o'clock, same place.
All right. Later, guys.
Later.